Hello and welcome to Silvana Alta. My name is Laia, and today I will be guiding you through a winding down yoga practice geared toward beginner climbers. So perhaps today has been the first day that you have ever climbed, or you've been only climbing for a little while. This practice will be very close to the ground. If you have a couple of blocks available, that could be very, very handy. If you do not, you can also use perhaps some thick books or a thick blanket, or you could just do the practice without any props. I will personally start seated on top of a block because that elevates my hips and allows a little more space for me to settle into my seat. But do as you will. So just find any comfortable seated position of your choice, and then go ahead and rest your hands on your lap or your knees and roll your shoulders down and back. Lengthen through your neck. And we'll just take a couple of breaths together. So if you feel so inclined, allow your eyes to soften or close. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. 1 more time, just like that. Inhale. And exhale. Return to your natural breath. And just take a moment here to notice how you arrive. Perhaps you feel a little bit tight from the day or tired. Or maybe you're one of those people that after you've been doing activity all day, you feel overstimulated or energized. However you feel, just notice. Inhale deeply. And exhale completely. Start to open your eyes again if you close them. And take a moment here to shift your weight a little bit toward the right side and bring your left foot in front. And again, you can continue to sit on your block if you want to, or sit on the ground. And then just take a moment here to grab your left foot with your right hand and grab your knee with your other hand, and just move your hip a little bit side to side here. Keep your chest lifted and your shoulders relaxed. You could continue with this movement, or if you'd like to, you can also start to move your ankle around in circles. First going one way, and then the other. 1 more breath, inhale. And as you exhale, start to lower your left leg down and switch sides. So we'll go ahead and grab your right leg with your foot and your hand. And first, just move a little bit side to side. Keep your chest lifted and your shoulders relaxed. And just breathe here. Perhaps you stay. Perhaps you start to also bring movement into your right ankle. If you're creating circles, make sure that you go both ways. 1 more inhale. And as you exhale, lower your right leg back down. Inhale, take your arms out and up, palms come together. And on the exhale, bring your left ear or your right ear toward your right shoulder and take your hand across the head. Extend your left arm out to the side. You can stay here with your palm facing out, or perhaps you rotate your arm in any direction that feels good for your shoulder. 1 more breath, inhale. And exhale, come back through center, neck back to neutral. Reach both arms up, breathe in. Breathe out, take your left ear toward your left shoulder. Take your left hand toward your right ear and extend your right arm out to the side. Stay here or create a little bit of movement with your arm, with your shoulder. Inhale. And exhale. Stop the movement, reach both arms up, deep breath in. On the exhalation, bring both hands behind you, press through your palms, lift your chest. You could stay here, or if you want to, lift your hips, start to lift your hips forward and up. Send your chest and your heart up toward the ceiling. 1 more breath, inhale. And on your exhalation, start to bring yourself back down with a neutral spine. And from here, start to roll toward a tabletop position. Come into hands and knees. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees about hip distance apart. And bring the backs of your hands to the floor. Now you can do that both hands at the same time. Or you can do one hand first. Perhaps you move a little forward and back as you breathe in and out. If you are doing both hands, stay here. If you are switching, doing one hand at a time, go ahead and bring your right palm back down to the floor. And then bring the back of your left hand to the floor and your fingertips toward your knees. Find stillness or movement. One more breath, inhale. And on your exhale, bring your left palm back down toward the earth. Tuck your toes under, send your hips back toward your heels. This might feel fairly intense on the soles of your feet. If that's the case, you can shift your weight a little bit more forward and stay there. If you want a little more sensation, sit further back toward your heels, move side to side, or even lift yourself up, bringing your hands toward your thighs, roll your shoulders down and back and breathe. Wherever you are, notice what you notice and stay with your breath. One more inhale. And on your exhalation, shift your weight forward again. Take your hands toward the earth. Lift your toes off the floor. Roll your ankles for a moment one way or the other, and the other. Or perhaps tap your toes onto the floor, making a little bit of sound, letting go of any extra sensation. Inhale, begin to send your right leg back. Keep your toes on the ground and take a moment to move forward and back. Lift your toes off the floor. Breathe in. And on your exhalation, take your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Now you can come up to your fingertips or even bring a block or both in front of you and stay here, especially if your hips feel a little bit tight, and move forward and back. You could also consider sliding your left leg even further back and perhaps staying here, or you could even take your elbows down to your blocks or even to the ground. But notice if your back is really round and your head is down, send your chest forward and your gaze forward and up. And just breathe. One more breath here. Inhale deeply. And exhale completely. If you're down onto your elbows, start to bring yourself back up to your hands. Lift your chest up. Now you could stay here for a couple of breaths as you relax your shoulders down and back and lift your chest. And again, you can do that with your hands on the ground or on your block. Or if you wanted to, on your inhalation, draw your right knee out, lift the ball of your right foot off the floor. And as you exhale, draw your right knee back in. 2 more times. Inhale, draw your right knee open. Exhale, draw it in. 1 more inhale. And exhale. Slide your right leg all the way back. Take a deep inhale. And on your exhale, bring your right knee across the left and take your feet a little bit wider. And again, if you feel sensation here, absolutely stay. Otherwise, perhaps you move forward and back. Notice if your hips have a tendency to move a lot toward the left, send them more toward the center. A couple more breaths here. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Shift your weight forward. Uncross your knees, move a little side to side. If you find that your wrists are sensitive, perhaps you make fists. On your next inhalation, send your left leg back. Keep your toes on the ground for a moment. Move a little forward and back. Let your shoulders relax. Reach to the crown of your head just a bit more. Inhale, hover your left toes off the ground. Exhale, draw your left knee toward the outside of your elbow and step your left foot forward. Bring your hands up onto your block. Lift your chest, soften your hips and stay. Again, if it feels best to keep your hips a little further back, do that. If it feels best to lower your elbows down, do that. Consider that one side and the other may need different things. Breathe. Notice any tension building up anywhere in your body. Now you could stay here a little bit longer. You can come up to your fingertips and lift your chest. And if you want to, for 3 breaths on an inhalation, draw your left knee open, lift the ball of your foot off the ground. And as you exhale, draw your knee back in. 2 more times. Inhale, draw your knee open. Exhale, draw it in. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Begin to send your left leg all the way back. Extend it back. Inhale. Exhale, take your left knee across to the right side. Send your feet a little bit wider. Take a moment to readjust here. If plenty of sensation is found, stay here. If you'd like to find movement forward and back, go ahead and move forward and back. As you inhale, you move forward. And as you exhale, you send your hips back. You could even send them back and stay as well. Observe the sensations and let your breath soften you, even if it's just a little. One more inhale. And exhale. Shift your weight forwards again. Uncross your knees. Move a little side to side. And once you feel ready, move any props you may have in front of you toward the side. Shift your weight forward, come to lie down on your belly, and make a pillow with your hands, rest your forehead down. Perhaps you take a moment to move your hips from side to side here. 1 more breath, inhale, and exhale. Begin to slide your elbows underneath your shoulders, and as you do so, plant your hands directly in front. So create a nice straight line between your middle fingers, your elbows, and your shoulders. Draw your shoulders down and lengthen your neck just a bit more. Inhale. And on your exhalation, lower your neck or your chest or your chin down toward your chest. You can stay here, move your neck a little side to side. 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Lower yourself down to your belly, make a pillow with your hands. Perhaps you bend your knees here and move your legs like windshield wipers from one side to the other. 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Extend your legs behind you. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, lift your chest for a cobra pose. And on your exhalation, bring your big toes together. Separate your knees any amount. Send your hips back toward your heels. And either extend your arms forward and take your forehead to the earth, or make a pile with your arms and rest your forehead down. Just take a couple of breaths here. One more inhale. And exhale. Bring your hands toward you. Draw your knees toward one another and sit on your heels. Or you could grab one of your blocks and sit on your block instead. And just take a couple moments here to roll your shoulders a little bit back and down a couple of times. And then roll them the other direction. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Take your arms out and up. Deep breath in. Face your palms forward. And on your exhale, bend your elbows, come into cactus arms, make fists with your hands, squeeze tight, and then open and close a few times using as much range of motion as you can and moving as fast as you can as well. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it off. And just take a moment to shake anything you want to shake out. Eventually bring your hands to your lap, perhaps close your eyes, deep breath in. Side out. Notice how you feel. Give yourself a moment of gratitude for the day that you've had, for the things that you've learned and that you've explored, and for your body that has allowed you to do all those things. Once you feel ready, open your eyes. Thank you. I hope that this practice helps you settle after you climb. Feel free to repeat this class anytime that you want to wind down from a day of climbing or any active day. I hope that this class has served you. Thank you.